Hi, this is Rachel Goclawski, Cooking with Mrs. G, and I'm here at the beach in New England to talk to you about New England shellfishing. These are slipper shells. They're a type of limpet, and as you can see, there's a little shelf inside there, thus the slipper shell name. It makes it look like a slipper. And you'll find these on rocks, you'll find these on seaweed, stacked on each other, and the reason why they stack on each other is to reproduce. So basically you just kind of twist them off, and here is what the meat looks like. Now you can literally just take the meat out and eat it raw for a trail nibble. It's pretty tasty. They're also called sweetmeats because the meat is pretty sweet in the side. In my opinion, they taste better than raw oysters, and well, they're a heck of a lot cheaper. So on to steamers and quahogs, which are regulated. So you're going to have to follow the shell fishing regulations of the town that you're fishing in. Mud flats are a great place to look, just outside of the mud flats for the steamer clams. And then, if you want quahogs, the sand flats. Once the tide goes out here on Cape Cod Bay, the tide goes out very far. You can find quahogs, razor clams, and other wonderful shellfish. The next thing you'll be looking for is siphon holes. Now, there are a lot of things that look like siphon holes, but may just be wormholes, other types of air holes that aren't actually a siphon hole, like this one. So this is that jellyfish creature hole. There are lots of types of sea worms and other creatures that make holes that aren't clam holes. Okay, so for steamer clams, you don't want to go too close in the mud flats. You won't be able to dig down, and then you'll start breaking up the mud flats, which is not good for the environment. What you're looking for is holes, and I mean there's lots of holes. You're looking for the right type of hole. So as you can see, this hole, it's got kind of fresh, sharp edges around it. It's not perfectly round. It's more of like an oval. So, I didn't get down too far, and I can feel the steamer clam, and I can feel its little tongue. So I get down a little low because I don't want to break the shell. So get down to the middle of the shell if you can. And here we go. This guy's pretty big. Okay. So here is the neck, and that's what made the hole. And that's why the hole, let's try to rinse them off. That's why the hole is oval, because the neck here is not perfectly round. Okay, so there he is. Maybe, huh? There you go. These have nice crisp edges around the oblong hole. Now, if you have a shovel or a clamming rake, do not go right on top of the hole like this, because if you put your shovel blade right here by the hole like this, chances are you're going to smash the shell, and you know that regulation size is 2 inches or bigger. So if you smash a clam that's under regulation size and you can't take it, that's going to make it hard for that clam to survive to be regulation size. So you want to dig, good distance away, good maybe 6 inches or more away from that hole with your trowel or your rake. And then that's where you start digging. Okay, so I've been digging in here. Now you may find one clam at that siphon hole. You may find multiple clams at the siphon hole. Or you may find no clams at the siphon hole. Just don't give up. As you can see here, I've got a soft shell clam. And this is regulation size. And, check, make sure he's lively, he's squirting. There's no red tide. That's also really important. Okay, so cover your hole back up. Don't leave your holes all over the beach. Let's talk about a few other edibles. And here we have a razor clam. These are my favorite, actually, flavor-wise. They're just very sweet, succulent, absolutely delicious. They're really difficult to dig up. You can get cut very badly. I've been cut many times in my life because I really do like these. Get yourself some protective gloves if you're going to dig these up. Their holes will squirt at you. And what people do is they get tanks full of salt water and squirt them directly into the hose with a sprayer. And this makes them come up. I don't do that. I just kind of dig them up, and I'm really, really careful not to get cut. And I'll take a few of these whenever I can. As for the moon snails, you follow their trails, and they'll be in the tide pools underwater. And here's one. Okay. And they are basically escargot. They're pretty strong tasting. You know, they got an acquired taste. To me, they kind of taste like turkey. But they're pretty good at this size. They can get very large. And the bigger they get, the stronger tasting they are. Okay, so you steam the snails right along with the quahogs and the steamers, you know. And once you steamed it, you can use a tool like this, like a pick, something like that, and take the snail completely out of the shell very carefully. And this curly part is what you eat, this nice tender curly part. This part that's like the slimy foot of the snail is very, very rubbery. And this part here, it curls up into the snail shell, is the good tasting part. Okay, I found a quahog. Speaking of quahogs, their siphon holes look similar to the soft shell clam siphon holes. They're elongated. They tend to be more of a slit than the soft shell clams. And the bonus about these, as you can see, I didn't have to dig very far. So sometimes I'm lazy and I'll just dig with my foot when I'm walking around. Because look, I didn't have to go down but 3 inches, and here is the quahog. These tend to get a little rubbery and tough when they're big. It's a very thick shell. Okay, these tend to be really good chowder clams. Okay, so there you have it. We have a quahog, we have a soft shell clam or a steamer clam, we have a razor clam, and a moon snail. There's a lot of really great edibles out there. This is Cooking with Mrs. G. You can find me on Etsy and Facebook and Instagram. And please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube.